Hey, for cunt! Hey, videotape me, motherfucker!
You fucking log you.
He's a fuck.
Stupid cunt.
He's a fuck!
Pick that shit up and
He's a fuck!
get out of my house.
He's a fuck! I'm gonna get locked up to be in the end, you motherfuckers! What have you done, useless? What's all over and everything? You fucking maggot!
You wait and let the other cunt to see.
Oh yeah!
They don't be hiding something off.
Oh yeah, fucking oath! Well, they want to give me a glory! I'll fucking rip them every day! Oh, you know that! Fuck you, dog! Oh yeah! Whoa! You love that! You love that! Oh, cunt! Hey, videotape me, motherfucker!
Fucking log you.
Yeah, my theory is that, well, if you look it up online, there's not much on there, but I did see one guy, wrote somewhere on Reddit, I think, the reason why Bogans are angry is because they're just a typical leftist response, I guess, of, they're because they're an oppressed group, and they look around and see all the success and opportunities other people have, and it makes them angry. But that's obviously coming from someone who'd never lived outside of the wealthy Western world. When I was living in Brazil, for example, the lower class, the uneducated type people who just lived off, lived day to day, lived off the government. A lot of them were lazy. A lot of them didn't really want to work. They just sort of took whatever they could, and when they got work, they didn't do a very good job. But those people certainly were nothing like Bogans in Australia. Those people in Brazil were, to put, for want of a better way to put it, they knew their place. I know that sounds horrible, but I'm just trying to explain my take on the situation. In Australia and in a lot of these Western countries, we're taught from an early age, like the indoctrination right from the start, right from kindergarten, is that we are all extra special. We've all got something, we're all special. We're all wonderful. Like the other day, my son brought home a sticker from school. And it was just some sticker that they'd stuck on a hat. He brought home the wrong hat, and inside on the front of the hat was this big, on the front, like the kid who owned the hat obviously wore this on the front of his head, and it was a round sticker that he'd stuck on the front of his hat, and it said, "Never forget how special you are," or something along the lines of that. Never forget how important you are, and that just sums up more than anything the indoctrination in the West. It's a blanket thing that applies to everyone, no matter obviously what your socio-economic status is, but it's taught to everyone in school. You're special, you're important. And it kind of puts everyone sort of up on this high level of their self-esteem is through the roof. Everyone's self-esteem in the West, at least, is just sky high. We all think we're, the shit. We're number one, we're the best, and and I think that's why Bogans come across as being angry. They're not actually angry, they're being arrogant, because maybe it's frustration, who knows, but they find themselves in that situation of, not having money, renting their whole life and not owning anything, and so that kind of conflicts with their sort of innate mantra that they're special and that they're great people and that they're wonderful people. So maybe that's one reason why that it's sort of a contradiction in what they believe about themselves and what reality sort of presents to them. But I think it's more along the lines of the fact that they have a huge self-esteem, just like everyone else does, and that sort of arrogance that comes from that self-esteem comes across, especially in that sort of socioeconomic situation, the Bogan life, as anger. You know, I guess they have no other way to express it. You know.